for those that saw yesterday, the Carabao Cup, the excellent Dominic Szoboszlai scoring a great goal. Had a quiet couple of games, but a terrific player. So you need goals from the middle of the park. But it's undeniable if you lose a guy who has the record that he has at this football club, that it's not going to have an impact on the rest, and it is going to beg the question: who's going to step up to the plate and replace the end product that Mo Salah brings? And if the answer is nobody's going to be able to do it, it could spell the end of Liverpool's title charge as we know it. They play Arsenal this weekend. It's a huge game. It's very close at the moment. But yeah, this is, just the fact that when games have been tight, Mo Salah has stepped up. And he hasn't always played brilliantly, but some of the goals that he's scored and the amount of goals he's scored has been quite incredible. I mean, it's some feat for a wide player.
Yeah, when we're talking about Darwin Nunez as well, one thing that always keeps coming up is the shots and the chances that he misses too. It's obviously highlighted throughout this season. That's what's been talked about. How do you fix a situation like this, Jurgen, and ensure that those shots do turn into goals?
Well, the best thing for him is obviously getting playing time. And if Mo Salah now leaves then for the Africa Cup of Nations for a couple of weeks, that might be his chance. Getting more minutes on the field, getting more opportunities. It's always down to work. When you as a striker have moments where, you struggle scoring goals, you're struggling finishing things off, then you go back to the training field, to the training ground, and you work on it. And I think once, somebody leaves a little bit of space for you because he's not there for a few weeks, that's the opportunity. And I think it's exciting if you look at the players that Liverpool can add now to the mix, because Salah leaves for a couple of weeks. You have Gakpo, you have Luis Diaz, you have Nunez. This is fantastic. I mean, you as a manager, you just throw them in and says, "Come on, guys, work it out, find a way to score." And then Salah will be back after a couple of weeks, hopefully with a title in his case.
Jurgen, just when we looked at that graphic there, we saw he's second most offsides in the Premier League this season. How do you coach that in a player like Darwin Nunez?
I think it's not a big deal. I mean, it means that he's always kind of right on the edge. He speculates a lot, and sometimes it works out. Maybe he's just on and gets his finishing. I mean, it's something you can definitely talk to him about and work with him on a training pitch, no doubt about it. But I don't think it's a big deal.
We might see him actually play.
Can I have a word on that?
Go on, Frank.
Yeah, just say, sometimes, we are being a little bit harsh on young players. How long it took to Salah to be the player that he is now. I remember him playing for Chelsea. It didn't work. He had to go to Roma. How long it took Benzema to become the player that he was playing for Real Madrid, when he was hammered by Mourinho, by not being a killer, booed by the fans for not giving enough, and after being the player that he became, being such a terrific scorer. So it takes a little while. Nunez arrived last season. Yeah, he has to step up because of the absence of Salah. But you can't ask for the world for a player who has been discovered last season. He's just a human being. He needs to adapt. He needs to work very hard. He needs to maybe speculate a little bit less, like Jurgen was saying. But he's trying his best. I can see that he's fully committed. He's 100% committed. Sometimes it doesn't work. At one point, if he keeps on working, I'm pretty sure he's going to be successful. Well, I want to wish him the best, because we can see his anger, his hunger, and he gives everything. Yeah, he might be clumsy, but I saw so many. I remember Jean-Pierre Papin, and Jurgen can talk about it. Jean-Pierre Papin was booed by the fan when he signed for Marseille, aiming the stands and everything. So give some time to Nunez, I think, to settle down a little bit, and that would be maybe for the best.
I think what we might see Liverpool doing, and we saw a little glimpse of it yesterday, Nunez actually played part of the game at the start on the left-hand side of a front three, and Gakpo played, we'll call it a false nine for want of any other terminology. And we might see that happening, and particularly when Diego Jota comes back. So, and he might be asked to play in the left or the right and, attack that back post or make runs from out to in rather than be the central striker. And that's something I think Jurgen Klopp has used him before. And And so we may see that happening. But look, they have still got, even when they lose Mo Salah, they have still got a good stable of front guys to choose from. There's no doubt about that. They're experienced players. You know, Nunez is a big money player. Jota has scored very important goals. And every time I'm in this studio, you seem to have a coughing fit. Is it me? Are you allergic? So they have a lot of experienced players that can come in, and a very experienced coach. And I think Liverpool, although this is going to be a blow for them, I would certainly hope it's not going to derail the season too much, if at all.
OK, well, we do know that you can host if my coughing fit gets too bad.